out our new sponsor, the Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Goodfella1 Boxing at 18% off of all their natural products from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. We go. All right, we back. Goodfella Sports TV. Appreciate everybody for tapping in with your boy. And we're going to talk about this interview that Bob Arum did with the beautiful Helen Yee. I'm a source in the description or the source link. Check it out before or after the video, during in the middle of the video. I don't care. But go over there and check her channel out. Check the interview out. It's very good. And also, following this video, if it's God's will, we'll be checking in what Mikey Garcia said about the matchup. And it kind of goes hand to hand. But I'm going to give the guitar the solo in this one. Then I'll get a drummer his solo in the next video if you catch my drift. But appreciate everybody. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, bell icon button, share the videos one time for your boy. And pretty much Bob Arum said that he proposed a 45-45 split, 10% going to the winner. Obviously, I'm the one that started that shit. Okay, I started that shit. I got videos going back this year, probably in the past, that I've been an advocate for saying that I think boxers should have an incentive. Just because you the A side or just because you the champion, it don't mean that you should get the lion's share all the time. Okay, I think a lot of fights should be incentive based. All right, if you watch golf, first place get the biggest pot. You watch tennis, first place get the biggest pot. And more times out of not, those are individual sports like boxing. So I think that'll help boxing a lot. And it'll separate the fake from the real. You know, I said 40-40, winner go 20. He said 45-45, the winner go 10%. And I could dig that. But, hey, if they really got kahunas, I like 40-40. And the winner take home 20. You know, but the 10% is cool. But I was talking about that shit. I don't know if he watched my video, but I can guarantee you can go back and I said this fight should be at least a 40-40. You know? And I believe that should be the case. 45-45 is cool. All right, if they believe they can win. And wait till I get to that Mikey Garcia, Errol, Spence, Terence, Crawford video. You're going to love that video, okay? And also he goes on to say that they will consider doing the fight next year with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. And this is what I heard from the beginning. Going to the root of this issue is they not trying to make that fight. Wait till I get to the Mikey Garcia video, okay? They not trying to make this fight right now. They're not trying to make this fight in the future. You got to go back to the root. The root is when Mayweather came out, okay, and said, we're not doing that fight right now. You know, I'm a boss over at PBC. I'm paraphrasing. We ain't doing that fight right now. Then, you know, after he said that, somebody hit my line and said that that some other stuff happened. I'm not supposed to say, but I said it before, but I'm not supposed to say so. Somebody else said that they didn't feel, you know, right now Errol was ready and they didn't feel Errol had enough experience to beat Bud and they think Bud was too much at the time. So I'm like, all right. Then he hopped on that talk show, bald-headed whole talk show, talking that bullshit, and he tried to spin it like he the boogeyman. All right. So, like I said before, they don't feel Errol Spence is ready. And niggas gonna come on here, oh, you hate no Errol. I don't care what they say no more. I'm blocking all fanboys, all gargling niggas out there. Okay? You go back, you listen to Kenny Porter said it a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. He said Errol Spence is a protected fighter. We laughed at Kenny. You know what I'm saying? We sure did. We laughed at Kenny. But ultimately, he's telling the truth. Okay? Bob Arum wants to make this fight. Everything I heard from top-ranked people and people behind the scenes, man, and everything I heard, they want to make this fight. Bob Arum legitimately believes he has the best welterweight in the world in Terence Crawford. He legitimately believes he has the best lightweight and super featherweight in the world in Vasily Lomachenko. He would put them in there with anybody. He would have put him in there, I heard, with Mikey Garcia, even though I heard that they was reluctant to do the Mikey Garcia fight and Bob didn't want to do it. I still heard that he pushed came to shove. They would have did it, especially after Mikey went up and got pummeled by Errol Spence. But I'm telling you guys, he said we'll consider doing the fight next year. And at the end of the day, I never thought this fight would happen this year. I was hoping they at least come to a deal this year and say, okay, we come to a deal, this fight, like a Wilder Fury thing. We had the fight happen next year. You feel what I'm saying? Like, all right, next year, we sign the contracts, we'll do the fight next year. But they didn't do that. They don't believe in Errol Spence could beat Terence Crawford. That's just what it boiled down. Not right now. And people going to get in their feelings. They're going to cry. I don't care. If you're going to cry in your feelings and thumbs down the video, hey, man, just block yourself from my channel. Don't come back. Because I'm not reaching here. These are facts. Remember, if you go back to the root of the cause, okay, the root, Errol Spence say, I want to clean up my side of the street. Crawford clean up his side of the street, and then I'll fight him. He told you that. He want to get all 3 belts. He don't want a 45-45-10 split. He want a 60-40 at minimum split. He want to be the A side. People conveniently say, I'm a chess, not checkers. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. He want to take the easy route. He said it, easy route promotions. And I'm getting on the horn about making them shirts today. So they'll be coming soon, God willing. Easy route promotions. He said easy route. I want to take the easy route. He said, I want me to get Pacquiao. He fighting Sean Porter. That's cool. I can understand getting a unification bout in there. But they don't believe y'all guy, Errol Spence, DeSoto, Texas, Dallas, whatever the fuck he from. They don't believe in him right now to win this fight. They don't believe in. They wanted him to get more experience. Fighting Sean Porter, fighting the mandatory, fighting Danny Garcia, fighting Keith Thurman. He wants the Keith Thurman fight. And can I envision a scenario where he do collect 3 belts and say, I can't make the way to move up and not fight Bud, or try to get Bud to move up and fight? Yeah, I can predict that can happen. I'm not saying it will happen, but I can really predict that's going to happen. And wait till I get to the Mikey video. That's probably going to happen. He probably won't fight him. He said, I promise it's going to happen next year. You promised the fight said it's going to happen next year. So how I see it next year for Errol Spence. So he going to, let's say, beat Sean Porter. He probably get ordered a mandatory next year. He only fight 2 times a year. And he fight Keith Thurman. So do you envision a situation next year, unless he have a problem with making the weight, that he fight a mandatory, Keith Thurman, and Terence Crawford? And if it happened, it's going to be a mandatory, Terence Crawford, Keith Thurman. I don't see him fighting 2 tough fights next year. He hasn't done it in his career. He barely got a respectable fight in Kell Brook and Lamont Peterson. He barely got a respectable fight. He ain't even had 2 tough, hard back-to-back fights. But that's hard to do in this day and age in boxing. It's hard to do to have those type of fights back-to-back. Wilder fighting Ortiz and Fury, I think, back-to-back. That's tough. I'm not knocking him for that. It's hard to get niggas in the ring with you. He been chasing Sean, Pacquiao now, Keith, Danny for years. But the whole thing about chasing them for years for Errol Spence, okay, is that he knew they had it planned out. PBC got this shit planned out like the WWE. They got it planned out like the WWE. So already how they want it laid out, they got it played out. And remember, Errol Spence said, I promise the Terence Crawford fight going to happen next year. I promise it's going to happen. He said that. Go look up the tweet. But all of a sudden, they say they consider it. But if you promise something going to happen next year, all I'm saying is, go ahead and put a contract on it. Put a contract on it. Put it on paper. But you know what? He using Keith Thurman. He going to use Keith Thurman Pacquiao winner, which I believe it'll be Keith Thurman right now, unless I see something that's different. He using the Keith Thurman Pacquiao winner as a bodyguard, as an excuse. Oh, I got good fights on this side of the street. You hear people using the same excuse. Oh, you know, Bud got the fight? You know, Errol Spence got all these great fights on his side. At the end of the day, I don't care about none of them other fights. If it ain't Errol and Terence at this point to Keith Thurman show me something on his comeback trail, it's a fight I care about. But it all boils down that they don't believe Errol Spence right now can fuck with Bud. If they knew it was a lock, that Errol Spence just walked through Bud, it happened. They knew they was going to beat Kell Brook. That's why they didn't mind sending Errol Spence over to Sheffield and letting Eddie Hearn front the bill. Had they believed Kell Brook would have beat Errol Spence, they would have fought to get that fight over there in the United States. Had they had any doubt in their mind, any cloudiness, and they thought that Kell Brook would have beat Errol Spence wouldn't have went over to Sheffield. They let it go to purse bid and won it if that's what they had to do. They'd have overcompensated Kell Brook to come here, like they did with Sean Porter. But they know they want to let Crawford get beat up a little bit more. They want Errol to get it more experience. That fight might not happen at all. And I'm going to get to that video next. This fight may not happen. And I'm kind of at that point. It is what it is. If he don't fight Terence Crawford, I don't think it's the end of the world. Because he got so many great opponents ahead of him. This is his first weight class. 54. He got great fights. And if he eventually move up to 60, historically, until right now, 160 pounds has been really thin. You know, Bernard Hopkins, you know, most of his big wins at middleweight, you know, or his loss to Roy Jones, because he started at 68. Most of his big wins at middleweight was welterweights, junior middleweights, Trinidad, Oscar. Then he got a win over John David Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Most of them dudes, John David Jackson, I think, started off at 54. Most of them dudes were moving up in weight. The Hopkins technically moved down. His first professional fight was a loss at 68. Roy Jones, even though, you know, he's a big guy, he started off at 54. So, Errol Spence, you know, if you don't fight Terence Crawford, and he goes on and unify 154 or get all the belts at 54, you know, Terence Crawford is going to be Andre Ward. Okay? Because if Errol clean his side, he's going to be Andre Ward. And I'm just going to keep it 100. He's going to be a really good fighter that never really was tested in an elite level fight. He could beat Regis if he won the World Boxing Super Series tournament at 140 and move up. He could beat Jose Ramirez if he move up. He could beat Josh Taylor if he move up. He could beat Jaron Ennis if he rise to prominence. But I don't think it's going to take a lot of work. I mean, you're talking about maybe 2 years minimum putting in work. And by that time, will Bud be 33, 34? If everything not on point, people got promotional issues like Boots got right now, Jaron Ennis. Shit, he might be 36 before he get that shot. Will his prominence ever flow over the cup like Mayweather? What I mean by that is that you can never tell me, a lot of times you can't tell me what was a prime Mayweather. He looked so good throughout his career because he stretched it out fighting once a year. You know what I'm saying? He didn't drink. He stayed in shape. And Bud has some of those abilities. He got that metal in the skin to be ageless, an ageless wonder. But really, everything can go right in a sequence. And you can still be old. You can suffer injury. You can go to a car accident. You know, or you could just get old just because, you know, that's just what it was. Everybody can't be Mayweather. So for Terence Crawford, he losing out. But he always have a job for ESPN. Bob Arum gonna keep him working. He invests his money the right way. Timothy Bradley, you know, look out for him. He makes sure he invests his money the right way. They getting their promotional company started. They doing things. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's financial for him. He live a modest lifestyle. I heard he real frugal with his money. But for his legacy, he trying to be Andre Ward right now. And the way Errol Spence got a cult fan following, they won't hold it against him. They won't hold it against him. And that's just what it is. But, like I said before, this next video is going to be firecrackers, man. But I said 45-45 split. I think that's cool. But like I said before, they not in a rush to put their poodle in there with a pit bull right now. Or they puppy pit bull with a real pit. They not in a rush to do that. They're not. They want to make sure they let their pit bull grow up. They want to make sure they give him some horse meat. They want to make sure they feed him raw. They want to make sure they nurture him and make sure he's healthy enough to get the job done and big enough to get the job done. Right now, he not experienced enough to fuck with Errol. Fuck with Terence. And that's a fact. Everything I heard from behind the scene, I heard from other people. That's a fact. And y'all gonna argue me. People gonna say I'm hating. You this and you that. It is what it is. I ain't got no reason to lie on that man. Oh, you don't like Errol because you don't like him. I'm not gonna not like another nigga because I don't like a particular dude. I'm not flawed like that. I'm just keeping it real. What he said is contrary to what he supposed to represent. He's a businessman. Businessman Spence. But I'll link that interview in the description. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Hellblaze, at thehellblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow Unboxing. Get you 18% off their 100% all natural products. Soaps, lotions, foot soaks, bath bombs, deodorant, toothpaste, hair pomade, muscle relaxer rub. The whole nine. Check them out. Website, promo code description. Get that 18% off. Don't forget you always tap in with me in the email, on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All those links in the description. Share the videos. Appreciate the love, support, man. Don't forget to check out our Patreon. If you want to make a donation, that link's in the description. And I'm cooking up some things outside the channel, so pay attention. One time for the one time. Y'all know what the business is. Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate the love.